Do they make you feel empowered, or are they just validating everything, right? You don't want ChatGPT as your therapist. Now, if you want to bounce ideas off of a chat, business ideas or whatever, but be very mindful of anything that validates you no matter what. That is not helping you to grow. Empowerment comes through being challenged, through being made to take a step back and look at what is your role in a dynamic, how has the past contributed, what do you want to change about how you're showing up, not just to be told, yeah, girl, these men ain't nothing and you need to, just keep your standards high and that's that. Like, we don't need validation only. We don't grow through validation only. Okay, we grow through tension. It's like exercise. That's why you got to keep lifting the heavier and the heavier weights. Okay, and here's a big one, and I said that earlier. Are they able to say it depends, or do they always seem to have the right answer for everything, right? Because real expertise leaves room for that complexity and that nuance in those different perspectives. All right. So okay, shout out to you guys for staying on this live. That was a little bit longer than I had expected, but I want to ask you some things to consider. Have you ever followed someone and later questioned their credibility? Okay. And what clues, like when you go back and look back, can you see some of those things that I spoke about? Were they very polished? Were they attractive? Did they speak with certainty? Did they speak on topics that emotionally resonated with you? Okay. Also, what makes you trust someone online? Okay. Is it the aesthetic? Is it the way they speak? Is it when they lead with their credentials? Does seeing this on the back of my wall, does that make you feel more of a sense of trust? Like what are the things that make you trust someone online? Is it the fact that they show up consistently? And do you think charisma matters more than credentials on social media? And if so, is it just one of those things of it is what it is? Do the trained people need to have more charisma? Do we need to be suspicious of charisma? I have my own thoughts on that, and I will save it for another live. Okay. So yeah, those are some things that I just want you to think about. Feel free to come in the comments and share them. And I want to leave you with something, okay? The things that we tend to follow, especially online, because it's such a vast sort of representation of the things that attract us from a human perspective. People tend to follow online clarity, confidence, and connection. And that's okay, right? Those are things that we're attracted to. But we do need to be intentional to know that it doesn't end there. It might start there with things that catch our attention, but we need to be discerning, okay? We don't have to be distrusting, but we need to be discerning. We need to understand the ways that people who are not operating in integrity try to pull on our emotional strings, try to pull on sometimes our sense of insecurity. So we're latching onto their certainty and their confidence. Okay. And I am someone I'm in a very unique position. I sit in that intersection of psychology, credentials, coaching, and feminine energy work. Okay. So I truly want you to be informed about how to kind of understand your vulnerability to cognitive biases, being emotionally pulled in, and how to step back and evaluate what you're seeing and also determine if that meets your needs. Okay. If you're consuming content, ask yourself, am I able to separate myself from this content? Am I being overly influenced in a way that I don't like by this content? Do I need to pause and really think about this content? And if I'm looking for help, how am I evaluating this person's qualifications and their ability to help me? Okay. I was going to say effectiveness, but effectiveness, I would say it's important that a person be qualified, okay? And you all can discuss what the outcomes that you're looking for are. Because sometimes we get fooled into thinking that something was effective, but it could be effective in a very short term manner when what we're looking for is deep, substantial transformation. Okay. All right. So thank you everyone for joining. I promise we are going to go back to more lives and really getting into some of these hot topics, but from a more nuanced perspective, taking a step back and looking at what that says about patterns, about us, about how we can learn from these situations. Okay. So shout out to all my licensed psychologists. Shout out to all of my licensed therapists. Shout out to all of my certified coaches who are doing the work and understanding their scope and what they contribute. And one last thing I would say, there's a lot of talk that can get real petty where people are saying that anyone who speaks out against someone who doesn't have integrity is jealous or a hater. Absolutely not the truth. Absolutely not the truth. I don't know any truly qualified therapists, psychologists working and walking in integrity that are jealous of people who are not operating in integrity. No, I just don't know. It's not it, right? So let's leave that kind of petty talk. That's the easy answer. Everything is not jealousy. That's another line of thought we have got to stop. Anytime somebody criticizes you, oh, you're just jealous. I remember the last time that I said those words out of my mouth, I was an insecure 23-year-old, so-called saying that somebody was jealous of me. But that was my insecurity, okay? That was not the case at all. All right. So that was just a little pet peeve I want to share with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, every Tuesday, new episodes of the Secret Formula of Femininity podcast come out. Also on the channel, don't forget, there is the 100-day glow up challenge. Those are the shorter videos that I put out. We're on day 75, 25 more days to go. And don't forget, we are coming up on episode 100 of the Secret Formula of Femininity podcast for women who want to live a more feminine, fun, and fabulous life. I have some amazing surprises coming up to celebrate that 100 episode week, some special guests, and some things that we're going to be doing. Okay? Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time.